I am now. Guzzle your nuts, Jeremy. Guzzle your nuts.
Sing the puberty song again.
I forgot what it was already. Of something strange in your underpants. Who are you gonna call? Puberty. If you're growing hair in funny places, who are you gonna call? Puberty. Hi, YouTube. It's a subtle hint about what we're recording there, and it's not puberty.
I ain't afraid of no bone.
I ain't afraid. I'm terribly afraid of boners. Hi, Jennifer.
Right.
What? G'day.
I think we've got Robot Jenny with us.
What?
That's just what you said. It kind of distorted on my end. That's all.
Oh, okay.
You're not looking at podcast stuff, are you? You're glaring at. What are you glaring at so intently?
Nothing. The Discord. It doesn't help. I need to put a blind up there.
You're just staring at us like such a discontent.
Sunglasses on.
Right. Have you? I said something I wouldn't have come across well. Have you finished eating nuts yet, Jeremy?
No.
I was going to say, have you got your nut?
Okay. Let me wash them down. With sugary and salty.
They're good, aren't they? They're just the cheap supermarket ones.
Oh, are you putting Henry's nuts in your mouth?
Gross.
Oh, you're the one who did it.
Right. Are we doing this
Are
thing?
we ready?
Are we ready?
Hitting record.
Oh yeah, I don't need to do that, don't I?
Bum bum ba da ba bum.
Did that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it worked.
excellent. This is good. This. Right, that's recording. That's that. I need my notes.
Oh, let me get them up. Yep. Ah, hang on, wait, I'm not ready yet.
You've got plenty of time.
Ah!
What is that? Why have I got an empty document open?
God damn trackpad.
I don't like trackpads.
It's alright, it's just not working properly. There we go.
Okay, so I will give you variety of hand signals when you can start when you can start speaking.
Spark the tiles.
Speaking's hard.
Henry's broken today. I've realised I won't be able to see them because the notes cover all of my computer.
See what? Oh, the signal.
It's alright. It's alright, we'll figure it out.
No. But quietly. All right, are you ready?
Hang on, wait. Yeah, no, that works. Go.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome to Serial Viewing! Okay, hey, what episode are we on? Episode 12, Season 2. That wasn't the right... Wait, episode 12? Episode 24, Season 2.
Suddenly, I look like a professional.
This week's episode, we are covering the Real Ghostbusters.
Woo!
Woo! This week, I'm joined by Henry
Hello.
and Jenny.
Well, hello.
The Real Ghostbusters. So this premiered in 1986 and was a tie-in from the original film before the second one was released as well. We watched Season 1, Episode 1, titled Ghosts Are Us, which first premiered on the 13th of September. In this episode, Slimer accidentally releases 3 ghosts from the gang's containment unit, and they set out to put Ghostbusters out of business by opening their own business, Ghosts Are Us. The Real Ghostbusters animated television series continues the adventures of paranormal investigators Dr. Peter Venkman, Dr. Egon Spengler, Dr. Ray Stantz, and Winston Zeddemore, their secretary Janine Melnitz, and their mascot Ghost Slimer. Now, have you guys ever heard of Ghostbusters before?
No, is it new?
Yeah.
It is relatively new. I think there's that kid Finn Wolfhard's going to be in it.
Oh, the
I'm not
nose.
Sure what's happening. The nose.
Yes, of course. Yeah, who hasn't? If you are out there and you've never heard of Ghostbusters, can you please explain to us what rock you've been living under?
I was looking up my research of Ghostbusters, the series, and it was just coming up with Google comments about what age should I show my kids Ghostbusters. But is Ghostbusters okay for 8-year-olds? Is Ghostbusters okay for 5-year-olds? Is Ghostbusters a good movie? I was like, how have you never seen Ghostbusters?
Have you got this point in your life?
Yeah. I mean, like, your life is just so much sadder than everybody else's who has seen it. So, this episode went off. Well, it was the pilot episode, right? And what happened in it? I don't remember.
Well,
Not much
that's
happened.
pretty much it. They go on a ghost hunt. They capture some ghosts.
Yeah.
Spengler, no, Venkman has a go at Slimer because for some reason Slimer's part of the crew now. And then Slimer accidentally releases 3 ghosts who hatch a plan to put them out of business by pretending to be Ghostbusters, which seems thin at best.
This is the pilot episode.
Yes, yeah. It was the very, very first episode. We watched it on YouTube. If you want to go and see it there, they released all of the real Ghostbusters, and the spin-off series that came after this, the Extreme Ghostbusters. They're all on their YouTube channel to promote Ghostbusters Afterlife, I think is the title of it, which is the new movie we were talking about.
Which looks really good, and I'm very, very excited about it,
Does
even though
look very good.
it has the nose in it.
He's not bad.
He's an alright little actor.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm just.
Plus, it's
Got
got
Paul
Paul
Rudd
Rudd
in it.
Yeah. Everybody should love
I
Paul
would
Rudd.
watch him read a book.
Yeah. I have watched him read a book.
Although I would say that this should be called the Slimer Show. It's like Friends, where Friends should actually be called the Ross Show. This thing was all about Slimer.
We'll get into that.
Slimer the
Yes.
pet. Slimer
Yes, we
being
will.
naughty.
There is trivia. There is a lot of trivia with this show. But first off, actually, we'll just touch on it here. In 1988, I think this was like the 4th series that came out. Slimer, well, he was a big mascot of the show, due to the fact that everybody, after watching the first movie, really, really liked him. And so in 1988, for that series, they started releasing the show in hour blocks, which contained the Real Ghostbusters episode, but also had a slight spin-off, but it was only ever aired with the other Ghostbuster show, called Slimer! And it was to appeal to a younger audience.
I
And
remember
it was
that.
like him just in the hotel, basically like a prequel for Slimer. But it basically renamed the whole series Slimer and the Real Ghostbusters, which prompted a lot of the merchandising companies just to like immediately scrap everything and call it Slimer and the Real Ghostbusters.
Okay, I need to get this out there. I hate Slimer.
Do you?
Yep. He's the comedy sidekick that I am on
He is.
record. I hate comedy sidekicks.
He's the Jar Jar Binks of Ghostbusters.
Does he really need to be there? I mean, okay, fine. He was great in the movies, but really, did we need him?
You both hated him.
No,
No.
no, I thought Slimer was
I
funny.
didn't hate Slimer. I thought he was alright.
No, he can
Yeah.
do one. It was awful.
He was a little annoying in places, but he wasn't. overtly painful to watch.
I didn't. I neither loved or hated him. He was just there.
Yeah.
Now I remember when we watched these, my little sister loved Slimer because but that was what he was for.
Yeah.
He was always naughty. He was always eating. He was always making stupid noises. But that's what he was there for the little ones.
No,
never bothered me.
So you guys watched this when it came out?
I did.
Did you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
What do you know? What year it would have been when you watched it in the UK?
Oh, late 80s.
Yeah. I remember watching it on my nan's sofa, or from my nan's sofa, and I remember that I had some nostalgia trip when on the closing credits when they're walking down the street. I remember that.
Yeah,
oh yeah, I put oh my god, the dancing at the end. Forgot about that.
I thought I've walked like that with friends.
Yeah.
It was pretty
a bit
good.
like the monkeys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the ending was meant to imitate the original music video, where all the cast were doing it with Ray Parker Jr.
I don't remember the video.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't either.
Bits of it. It's basically got him walking down the street with all four of them, but like behind him, going like that.
Okay, now I need to watch that.
Yeah, it's pretty good. But has there ever been, whilst we're on the subject, has there ever been a better theme song for a movie in history than Ghostbusters? Like, regardless of scores, musical talent, whatever, I think that this is amazing as a theme song.
It is good.
Yeah,
it is good. I mean,
this is a slightly more 80s version of the song.
Yes, but it is still Ray Parker Jr. It's performed by. It's not performed by him, but he did make the adaptation for the cartoons. I can't remember who is performed by him right now, but so, what did you guys think to the other ghosts?
I hated them.
Yeah, me too.
It annoyed me that they were a family. Why were they a family?
Why can they speak?
Yeah, they. I mean, all right. So they're setting up ghosts as being intelligent or the possibility
human
to be intelligent antagonists for the rest of the series, because you can't just have a blob every episode, which is fine. I get that, but these three really. And did they need to be a family?
Well, the way that this episode was described to me whilst reading all of the reviews and stuff was that it was a very good, interesting concept to take Ghostbusters and turn them on their heads like straight away, but it never mentioned how terrible these ghosts were. The ending ghost, because basically what happens is the three ghosts, the Ghostbusters go and they go and capture them at a chocolate factory, which was a weird scene, and many strange innuendo like comments were made. But they go and capture these three ghosts, and they put them in the containment unit. They go to bed, and then Slimer, being Slimer, releases them on accident, and they decide to enact their revenge and take it upon themselves to ruin the Ghostbusters business by creating their own ghostbusting business
instead of just killing them.
Yeah, well, yeah. They kind of left that part out of the original Ghostbusters of this cartoon from the original movies, but they do that, and then they want to have like one last big hurrah to send the Ghostbusters off after their business for some reason takes off, even though the Ghostbusters have years of experience.
Well, your business is on shaky ground if it can't take one competitor.
Yeah. I think that's kind of the point of the Ghostbuster business, though, that they're all really bad people.
They're not people persons.
No, they're not people persons. None of them are. Like, you have like Venkman, who's full of himself but loves himself. You have Stans, who's a really nerdy scientist. You have Spengler, who is not a human, and you have Winston, who's like this average Joe, who's like blue collar, like just working. And they
Token Black.
Yeah, well, Token Black, but he is in the original movies. But I just think in the original group, he's just the average Joe. What's the name?
The Everyman.
Yeah, the Everyman.
The Everyman, yeah. That's what it is. He's there to get paid.
Yeah.
So he'll put up with any kind of crap as long as he gets paid.
So the fact that they are the only professionals who can do pest control for ghosts is probably the only reason their business is still afoot.
Okay. Who in their right mind? It's a cartoon, whatever. Who believed that those two were human?
Wait, which ones?
The ghost family.
Oh yeah.
Who, when they were pretending to be Ghostbusters. Him, or the male ghost, because they're ghosts, it doesn't really matter. I kind of get that one, but she only had 3 fingers. She was almost bright red.
Mm-hmm. I mean, well, kind of, but he pulled his face off and then scrunched it so it changed his appearance, but then in a very cartoon fashion. But he looked exactly the same, just a different color. Yeah. I'm like, you just not look like a ghost already?
You've got to understand, in this universe, the people of New York,
yes,
have seen some shit.
That's true.
So
the people of real New York have seen some shit.
Yeah, exactly.
So what happens in the very end is that once the enemy ghost team go to this factory because they know of this ghost who's like a really strong ghost, and they're trying to get him to, I don't know, kill the Ghostbusters in the end. I don't really know their motives. They never really say it, but I assume that's
get rid of.
Yeah, dispose of them. But then it turns out to be a different ghost, an even stronger ghost than they even thought had been there. So they ran away in fear. The Ghostbusters come, save the day. This ghost is a very interesting design.
Yeah.
They chose a toy factory, I guess to appeal to children, but maybe that ghost, if he really wanted to be left alone, could have been in a weapons factory or something.
I think they went. I know it's only the pilot, but I think they went too big too soon.
You reckon?
Yeah, because this is the biggest thing we've ever faced. Hang on.
That's true.
Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Well, he was. I did like the way it was level 10, and then Egon's reader, scanner went. So it was over level 10, and it smashed out of the thing and pointed past it.
Okay, so how do the ghosts know what class they are?
I know. I wrote that down. I got very
hang
confused.
On. No, but if you think in Beetlejuice, if you're going with the same thing, so there's
universe.
You've got there's the book that they get, and they all, when they die, they go to the ghost place. So there's a lot more. Yeah, I just worked on the basis that all go once you become a ghost, Also though, but I also picked up that they're not all from different dimensions.
Yes. Yeah.
So they're not ghosts. They're from different dimensions, which
that is in the
that's in the movies as well. So
the Ghostbusters lore and canon and stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot about that actually. Even in, like you say, they where do the ghosts go when they capture them? What's in the containment unit? A lot of, apparently the show did answer a lot of these questions.
It's a dimension, isn't it?
It kind of is. It's a ghost purgatory. And it basically, all the ghosts, because there's an episode where Slimer has to go into it, and so it's like a big swirling vortex, and all the ghosts just hang around and have a chat, basically, in this swirling vortex of it's basically ghost purgatory. And
you mean inside their machine? Yeah, that's kind of what I figured it to be.
But let's quickly go back, talk to the designs of the characters, because they are not similar to the show, to the movie, at all, and there is good reason for that.
They do. The 4 main Ghostbusters, they do have some similarities. They're kind of caricatures of those from. They're kind of characters, like Egon's hair. So in the movie, he does have that weird curly hair. So they've oversized the big curl, and some of the way they talked in the movies, and some of the things, the way they acted, that has been, those bits have then been taken out and expanded. So Venkman in the movies, he's more of a droll. It's slow and it's very sarcastic.
They are emphasized.
Yeah, and that's where he is, and it's Spangler, Dan Aykroyd,
Ray Stantz.
Ray Stantz, that's it. Ray. he was always more enthusiastic. So they've gone one step, and he is super enthusiastic.
Yeah.
And same as Egon. So
I look at it as if they made the movie based on these characters.
There is trivia
Yeah.
about it. So basically, the real reason, there's two reasons. The real reason was basically they drew Venkman and Spangler very similar to they based them off of Bill Murray and Harold Ramis, but they were worried that the actual series they might get lawsuits for using their likeness without asking.
yeah.
So they changed them slightly. So they made Venkman a bit more goofy, and they made Egon with blonde hair. And apparently, they never based Ray or Winston off of the original Dan Aykroyd or.
They'd already changed their mind by that point.
Yeah. So that's the real life reason why they look different.
So
The in canon reason is because basically they answered it by what you said, Henry. They said it so the cartoon is the real universe, and the movies are based on the stories of the cartoon. So the movies are in the universe of the cartoon, but they're basically movies of their lives of the cartoon.
right.
If that makes sense.
Mhm.
So it's a film adaptation of their lives in the cartoon, which I thought was kind of cool. It was a good way of answering it. It's definitely it clears up some of the plot holes of the universe.
I had two problems with Venkman.
You only had two.
I only had two. In the movie, he is easily the best character.
Yes, by far.
He is the worst character in
Yes,
the cartoon.
by far.
And I know it's not Bill Murray doing the voice, but all I can hear is Garfield.
Oh my god, that was who it was.
Because Bill Murray voices Garfield in the movie.
Yes,
Yeah.
but he doesn't in the cartoon.
No.
He does in the cartoons.
No, so I wrote down, this is my exact word for word. I wrote down, so Bill Murray plays Peter Venkman in the Ghostbuster films. Lorenzo Music voices him in Series 1 of the cartoons. Now, Lorenzo Music also voices the character of Garfield, but yet he wasn't available to take up the film adaptation because he was dead. But Bill Murray did.
That's a good reason not to get a job.
Yeah.
But the two of them are literally playing Inception with each other.
Bill Murray even pointed out after the second series that Egon sounds like, because he I can't remember who voices Egon, but he's a pretty famous voice actor, and he wrote down, he sounds like a scientist, sounds like very smart, but I sound like Garfield, and it's because he is voiced by Lorenzo Music, and it is a weird inception that's how it all works out.
So I put in my notes. So in the I think late 80s, early 90s, there's I would say a 10-year period of there was only seems to be 10 voiceover artists, and they did all of the cartoons
Even the guy
and all
doing-
of the TV series.
Yeah.
Because they're all very familiar. So one of the dudes, is it the one that plays Ray?
Yep. He's in
Why
loads.
can I never remember his? Isn't he in Scooby Doo?
He's
One of them
Yeah, I
plays
think
it
he's
plays
Fred.
who's the bloke in Scooby Doo?
No, he's in Fred.
Fred. Yeah.
Does he play Fred?
I don't know if he plays Fred, but
Yeah, I think he does. It was either him or he plays someone in Ben 10 as well. But basically, he's done a lot of kids shows. But you'll never guess who voices Winston.
I know.
In this show.
yeah, I know.
You
who
know,
it is.
okay.
It's Arsenio Hall.
Arsenio Hall.
Yeah.
Arsenio, sorry, yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. But basically, the more trivia is that Ernie Hudson auditioned for it, but he wasn't given it because Arsenio Hall auditioned as well.
Arsenio Hall is cool. I do like
Yeah,
Arsenio.
so that's quite amusing. But yes, I think the voice actor who voices Slimer takes over from Lorenzo Music in season 4 or 2, I think, because Bill Murray complained about his character sounding weird. Yeah. So that's, I mean, there's a bit more trivia I have, stuff that didn't happen in this episode, like the fact that because they use the radio and they radio across whilst they're in the vehicles, such as Ecto 1 and Ecto 2, which we hadn't seen in the movies, but we do in this one. Janine's handle for the radio is Spook Central when she uses the radio. And this is an Easter egg deliberately done by the casting, the writers, because Ray, he says it in reference to Dana Barrett's apartment.
Yeah.
As it's your girlfriend's living on the corner of Spook Central.
That's it, yeah.
Like which is kind of cool too. Henry, do you know who was one of the main story writers for this show?
It's not Christy Marks, is it?
No.
Because she wrote everything. No, I don't. Who was it?
J. Michael Straczynski.
Hey! J. Michael.
Who went on to work as Babylon 5. And was currently at the same time as this working on He-Man, I think.
Well, he'd already done Jace by now, I think.
Oh yeah, did he do Jace?
Yeah.
Oh,
He wrote Jace and the World Warriors.
Yes, so he's a favourite.
We like J. Michael.
Very cool. And already mentioned as well, in 1997, there was a spin-off series, because this show ended in 1991, a spin-off series named The Extreme Ghostbusters.
What was different?
Basically, it was they were all older, but it was Spangler, it was Egon's. He was running this new Ghostbusters. They were all built up of his best physics students.
I remember it.
And they were going to call it the Super Ghostbusters originally, but apparently that was too soft for the 90s, so they named it the Extreme Ghostbusters.
Because the 90s were radical and extreme.
Does he retire to a little farm town in the middle of nowhere?
Not
Get
sure.
a barn.
You have to watch it, but it's all available on YouTube. But the original Ghostbusters all do make an appearance based on their original, the Real Ghostbusters views, but they are slightly older and described as slower, which I find quite amusing. In their age.
What did you guys think of the animation?
It was alright.
Yeah, it was very. It was well. I assumed that this was generic early 90s, but it's not. It's late 80s.
Yeah, it's not bad.
So it actually looks pretty good, considering I got the decade wrong. Some of the character design for some of the background characters, I don't know if you noticed, but there's a bit, for example, when the big bad's stomping over the bridge, which should have caused a huge death toll. We'll ignore that. There's a guy in a taxi and the taxi driver, and they both look as hideous and as deformed as the ghosts do, but they're just people.
I did think that. I was like, oh, are these going to be turning into ghosts at some point as well? Or...
Yeah, it's a weird choice. You'd think you'd want to disassociate people from ghosts, and we've already established that people look like the Ghostbusters.
I feel like that was a common thing with the 90s, though, with this, like, the rad era where all of the non-important characters would be really ugly or really boring looking compared to the actual hero characters who were always, like, really heroic and buff. And
apart from Ray.
For some reason, they decided to do that with this show.
It was a weird choice.
It was a weird choice. I do agree. I did find out that the animation, all of it was all planned out. They recorded all of the parts first before any of the animation was done. So it was a fully professionally done, which is, I mean, to be fair, quite rare.
Yeah,
from what we've come across. but it was then sent over to Japan, and Japan did the animation.
I was going to ask because I noticed at the end that it's another Deke Entertainment.
Yeah.
Joint. So was it a French-Japanese production, French-American?
It's French-American. Yeah. So it was all done in LA, all recorded in LA. Then they sent it over instead of the other way around, or redubbing or anything.
That's one of the things that I think we've learned on serial viewing, that France was actually quite a bit of a children's television powerhouse in the 80s and 90s.
More than Britain.
More than America, even.
But what I found interesting as well was the fact that they, both the 13-part original Series 1 of this show and the 65-part of Series 2 were commissioned at the exact same time. So the writers and all of the production crew were tasked with writing 78 stories straight away before the release, and that feels like a lot of shows to get done.
I know that it seems to be a standard where they go for a short run for the first series and then it's expanded for the second. But I always assumed that was because they wanted to test the water.
Test it out, yeah.
And then go. So, but yeah, that's a weird choice. Why you would commission a really long second series and then a short first one?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it makes sense. They went on to describe how they preferred working for syndication and they preferred being able to work with their own deadlines and get everything done. And I think Straczynski wanted to, because he was running the main story plot at the time. He actually took a heist after the second series because they actually, I can't remember which network it was, but they demanded that they take on um, a consultant. I think it's Q5, um, writers consultancy, to basically dumb down the story. Oh, well, not dumb down the story, but dumb down the elements of it, such as the occult parts and violence,
Make it more
and
palatable to the Midwest
yeah,
American audience.
a lot more child friendly, despite the fact that the ratings were really high before then, and then ironically after they did all these changes, the ratings
I
went
think it's
dropped a lot.
I think it's a truism that children's television programming that doesn't treat children like adorable little morons does quite well.
Yeah, it should be a thing.
Kids know when they're being spoken down. Well, a lot of kids will know when they're being spoken down to and being pandered to. Just give us the story. If it's a good story, they'll watch it.
Yeah, middle of the road kids, not
Oh,
not
yeah.
little kids. You're talking
No,
like
yes.
7+.
Absolutely, yeah, not little kids, but yes, you know what I mean, though.
Mm.
Yeah, good. Making sense.
So, do you guys know the true story of why it's called the Real Ghostbusters? You do, Henry.
I do, yeah.
I think I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've heard it sort of talked about before.
So in 1975, the original Ghostbusters film, like separate words, was released. It was live action.
Kind of, and a man dressed as a monkey.
Yep, a man dressed as a monkey. There was two of them. They went around trying to catch ghosts, I think. But after the 1984 film, the other one was created by Filmation.
Yep.
And after the 1984 Columbia Pictures film, they both decided to release a Ghostbusters cartoon in 1986. The original Ghostbusters one was said to be like the descendants of the two, and going around, and they were both going to be animated, and basically they told them to stop, to not call them Ghostbusters, and they figured they would be all confusing, so they were like, oh, we'll call it the Real Ghostbusters, because to the kids as well, that was going to be the real Ghostbusters. They made a whole point of it.
I mean, okay, so you've got the producers of the original Ghostbusters, the monkey and the man. So the Ghostbusters movies comes out, it's a big deal, so you think, yeah, I can make some cash off of this. How
In a world could you think you'd get away with that?
How did you think you could compete? You obviously weren't good enough the first time around.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, if it's your idea, fair enough, but at the same time,
it's too late.
Yeah, understand that you've been ruled by Bill Murray.
Read the room.
Ruled by Bill Murray. So, merchandise. There was actually a fair amount of spin-off and merchandise available, as is with most.
Yeah, this show was absolutely a vehicle to sell toys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Well, 99% of them were in the late 80s.
Yep.
At least they put some thought into this one. So there was a whole Kenner show production, Kenner toy line that would last for a whole 10 waves, I think, until 1991. Basically, yeah, they were really pumping them out. I didn't see a lot of prices. I don't think there was anything going for terribly expensive because it was so readily available.
They would have had, it's like most of them, they would have had your standard line where you can buy the figures, but they would have had a couple of bigger high-ticket items. You could probably buy the fire station playset or something.
You might be.
Do you not have it? I mean, you had all the toys.
I didn't have any Ghostbuster toys. No,
I remember.
That was a nice dig at me being spoiled there, by the way.
Yeah.
I was, but that's not the point.
Every episode.
No, I remember the Childminders boys having Ghostbusters, the Ghostbusters car.
Ecto 1.
Yeah, and I think I had the fire station as well from
Yeah.
this,
So
not from the movie.
They would have been the bigger ticket items, I'm assuming.
Yeah, they were spoiled as well.
I think the reason that then maybe not making as much money now, like resale value, they are being reissued, or they were reissued in 2020 by Hasbro. So they got picked up by Hasbro
That seems
as
to
well.
be a running theme. Yeah, because I can't remember the name of the toy companies now, but they did a re-release of the original Gem models. Bucky O'Hare, which we watched last week, they had a re-release of toys. It seems to be a thing, like they're kind of nostalgia digging. The toy
Maybe talking about shows right now is the best thing we can do.
Yeah.
The more people get traction, they're gonna harness that nostalgia. But yeah, apart from that, there wasn't that much more information on the toys. There was, however, in 1987, as an arcade game released by Data East and published on all consoles as well by Activision, all the common consoles at the time. It was a shoot 'em up style arcade game, and it looks relatively interesting. But I'm spoiled by the actual Ghostbusters game. That was amazing.
Yeah, but
Came out a
that
couple of years
was that based on the cartoon or was that based on the movie?
It was based on the cartoon.
Right.
Wait, not the more recent one.
But the original.
Arcade.
87 one.
Yeah, because there's been all kinds. I remember playing a Ghostbusters game on the Amstrad CPC 464 on a green screen. That was your blob drove around and shot other blobs with a thin line between the blobs. That kind of
I
nonsense.
think there was a Slimer one as well. I remember there being a Slimer computer game where he went around and ate things.
I think.
Oh no, was that on a Game Boy? That
know.
might have been on a Game Boy.
I think the whole Slimer love bypassed me because he wasn't even a highlight of the movies
I do feel it was a bit weird
for me.
that they really chose to drive home Slimer as a mascot.
Well,
I will say didn't like the Slimer. As I said, younger sister did like the Slimer. I remember Slimer being quite popular.
Yeah, I guess. Well, I don't remember. No, I don't
with
remember.
Kids.
I get using
at school.
I get in this context. I get using Slimer to appeal to a younger,
younger
audience
ones.
Because Ghostbusters, the movie itself, I'm sure it has traumatized many younger children over the years.
It's still traumatizing.
But yeah, I get the use of Slimer to position it towards a younger audience. I just don't like it. I don't like comedy sidekicks.
That's okay. They're not making movies and cartoons for you.
Yes, they are. I'm everyone's target audience.
is always the best comedy.
Oon! Woo! Oon rules.
Yep. But so
Who's a Paul Atreides comedy sidekick? A worm.
Yes, if they did a cartoon, he would absolutely have a pet worm.
Straczynski should do that. He probably would. But there's also been a Real Ghostbusters comic book spin-off that ran for 193 issues.
Wow.
And it was published by Marvel Comics.
I'm impressed. I mean, I'm not surprised at a comic book, but I am surprised at the length. That's a decent run.
Yeah, it lasted for a long time. It lasted until I think it was 91 as well. But there was also Now, which published a few issues as well. And Slimer got his own comic book as well.
Of course he did.
Only for a couple of issues, but it looks very 90s, very over the top.
I'm just jealous that a gelatinous green blob has got more fans than I do.
But yeah, I mean, apart from that, I think we've exhausted most of my trivia. So, what else did you guys enjoy about this show?
I didn't.
You didn't?
You didn't like it?
No.
I heard you
You
laughing.
did not hear me laughing.
I heard you snigger. I did.
You did. You were giggled.
No, I didn't enjoy it. I don't know if it's just because it's the pilot. Because I remember watching this when I was younger, and not disliking it.
This was one of the lower rated episodes.
Yeah,
it wasn't the lowest, but some of them got up to 8.9, I think.
It wasn't funny.
Yeah.
Slimer was annoying. Venkman's a dick.
He's a dick, but he's really. I did not like Venkman at all.
No.
Like,
So that's
I
what I
feel
said.
like
He went from
yeah,
being the
they
best
really,
thing to the worst thing.
yeah, they really ruined his character. But
Oh,
like, what?
okay. So at the end,
Yeah.
they've defeated the big bad. They're standing on like a shipping container, being interviewed by the press, and Venkman turns to Slimer and says, "Oh, Slimer, oh you've redeemed yourself." And then Slimer, I'm just going to say this: Global Flabben Kniffen. I listened to that 4 times. I kept returning, and I still do not know what Venkman said to Slimer.
What?
We're gonna. You go back after the fishing show. Go back and listen to it because he says, "Oh, Slimer."
But isn't it because Slimer's kissing him?
Like making
No,
out
no,
with
no,
him.
no. He says something, and then he kisses him. Before he kisses, he says, "I even put the subtitles on, and it couldn't do it."
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, we'll have to check that
It's
out. But
really.
yeah, I thought, yeah,
Sorry.
I thought it was weird that he just started making out with him, but then like the animation was a bit off because then he'd like go away and then he'd turn back and smile again, and then like I don't know what was going on there.
Ray did get a blowy from a ghost. Might be the same. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
in the movie.
That's true.
Did you enjoy it? I just dumped in there and said, "No, I hated it."
No, I loved it.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of
I
cool.
thought it was fun. It reminded me. I enjoyed watching it when I was younger. Yeah, this wasn't a great episode. I do remember a lot of others. Slimer doesn't bother me. I wish I could eat like him, but yeah.
I do, which is why I'm a pink gelatinous blob.
Yeah. I mean, I wish like what's her name? The secretary, Janine. Oh, why do I keep forgetting all her names?
Janine.
Yeah.
Janine. I wish they'd used her, the actress, to do her voice because she's an awesome, and she would have been a great voice actress even if they couldn't get all the others. Because that was one of the great things in the movies was her voice, whereas when it's really meh in this.
Janine's still hot. So.
But yeah, no, I enjoyed it. You know, random pop music, chase scenes, and
Yes.
Yeah, that was a bit weird.
Yeah.
you got those in all the, and I'll put it in there. It's got to be it's an 80s, 90s cartoon. There's that block where all the cartoons kind of use the same formula, and they all have a weird random pop music chase scene or compilation, like training scene or something like that.
It was an odd choice. Just random pop
It
music.
was what was on the radio in the taxi.
Yeah, like I like the transition. It was kind of nice. They did fit it in a bit well, but it was a bit strange to randomly have this like really over the top pop scene. Yeah, I quite enjoyed it. I feel like parts of it, not all of it, but parts of it definitely captured that really cheesy, the whole aspect of the Ghostbusters that it's never ever really meant to be taken seriously.
No.
Like even when they're filming it, they didn't take it seriously.
No.
But it's still a really really good movie. Yeah. Like I say, Venkman's a dick.
See, I didn't get that he was a dick in this.
Well, he's just really.
He's not funny. He talks like a.
I mean, he's just really. I mean, he was.
His whole...
he's still got his sarcasm, but I mean, it wasn't Bill Murray. You're right.
No,
it was Garfield. But it was. I
think the whole point of Venkman is he's so blatantly unself-aware, and that the fact that this character was like he didn't have any of those aspects.
They were trying too
any
hard.
Of that. Yeah, they did capture his slowness or like his like coolness, with life and the fact that he didn't really know a lot about science. He kind of flunked his way into it, but at the same time, they missed the fact that he is kind of witty and snarky, whereas in this, he's just an ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't go about it in a nice way or a redeeming way. But I hate him more than Slimer. Slimer was alright.
Oh, who did I hate more? I think I agree. I think I hated Venkman more than Slimer, and I hated Slimer.
Yeah. I think in other episodes, though, the other Ghostbusters do show their strengths a bit more. I feel. Who would you reckon would? Well, no, not who would you reckon. How would you reckon the Ghostbusters would do at Grange Hill?
I think they would be crying by the end of the first day. I think Trisha Yates would rip them a new one. The teachers would have had Slimer around the back of the back of the neck, locked in a cupboard somewhere.
Yeah, isolation. So go on then. Jennifer, give this a rating between
out of 10.
7 out of 10.
7.
Yeah, it's not perfect, but it is the Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to sum it up. Henry.
2.9. Because I didn't enjoy it. It was. I would give it the benefit of the doubt that I'm sure it gets better. This was the pilot; they hadn't found their feet yet, but I didn't like it. So 2.9.
All right. Well, fair enough. I'm giving it a 7.6 because I did like it, but because it was the Ghostbusters, and I knew you were gonna put it really low. So what's the maths on that?
I don't know. I've just cocked it up. Hang on a second. So we've got.
These are going to be fun to edit.
You gave it a 7.
Yeah.
And a 7.6, Jeremy.
Yes.
And a 2.9.
That gives it an overall rating of 5.8.
Adequate.
Higher than I was expecting.
Nah, I was expecting this to be really, really good. I figured we'd find the flaws because we find the flaws in all of these.
I thought I was going to enjoy it more. I thought I was going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
I was a little shocked at how bad I thought it was.
Enjoy it a bit more. Understandable. Well, thank you so much for watching. This has been Ghostbusters. Is there anything else you guys want to say? Any closing?
This is the end of our. It doesn't mean much to you guys, but this is the end of our second season. We run in 6-month seasons, so thank you very much for that. We start our new season. We have chosen our episodes for the next one. Can anyone remember what the first episode of season 3 is? What our next episode is going to be?
We chosen it then.
You were there.
I don't remember what you chose the first one.
I didn't realise we'd picked the first one.
Yep.
I just know what ones we've got, but I don't know which ones.
Our next episode, join us next time for the English classic Postman Pat. Postman Pat.
Oh,
Postman
yeah,
Pat and his
Postman
black and white cat. Early in the morning.
Original
Postman Pat.
Not the weird monstrosity that's on the TVs now.
Which I'm we will discuss that.
There's the sweary one.
Oh, yes, we will discuss that as well.
And all the saucy songs.
What an interesting tonal shift that will be from the real Ghostbusters.
Postman Pat without his hat on.
We do record an unedited version for YouTube, so head over to our YouTube channel and you can watch our gurning faces. And you can look at the hand signals that Jen is setting up right now. Just look for serial viewing. Every episode is up there, and you can see our lovely faces.
Yes, so if there is nothing else, I say we call it an end, and I say goodbye and see us next week.
Bye. I love you. And we are clear. Did you just lift the music directly out of the cartoon?
That was the only one.
Right, okay. Because about halfway through, I could hear a bell, and there was some running and a car door. So it sounds a little strange.
Hello and welcome to the after show.
Greetings, YouTube.
Sup? Still weird when I host.
It's because you're weird. Oh, I don't need that anymore.
You don't follow the same
That's fine. That's good.
thing. Oh yeah, I'm just saying there's nothing wrong with it.
Change is good as a
So
restaurant.
you don't talk about the theme, and then you don't talk about the.
Because Henry always asks me.
It would have been a hard one doing the theme this time because it's Ghostbusters.
Yeah, and I did just
Well, not everybody loves the Ghostbusters theme.
Yeah, they
yes,
do.
they do.
They should.
I understand.
They should.
He said it was the greatest.
I don't
movie
understand
theme
your
of all time.
words. I forgot to do some questions for this one, so I'm going to start doing the quiz regularly from season 3.
Wait, no, let me do it. Okay. Real quick.
But I'm going to be setting the questions all the way through season 3. So.
Yeah, that's fine. What was the main object that the bad ghost at the end was made up of? The main.
It was a Jack-in-the-Box, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There was a tricycle.
He was on a tricycle with a Jack-in-the-Box, and then there was like a. Is it a monkey? Oh yeah, monkey.
Because they zapped the monkey in the Jack-in-the-Box head.
Yeah, they have the monkey. They have the alphabet block though. I thought it was an alphabet block.
Oh no, it was an alphabet block.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. Okay, good. What was the? What did the dad ghost always say for the son ghost to do?
Maybe hair.
Stop being a disgusting pink blob. How many times do I hear that?
And what did Venkman say regarding to the massive chocolate explosion?
This smells like shit. I don't know. I don't remember.
No, me neither.
That was a great one. It was. I think I had a college party like this once.
Ew.
Which I thought was a bit weird. Yeah, I was like, ew. I wrote that down, and I was a bit weirded out by that one. Also, that's another thing I forgot to mention, but it's only a subtle thing. Apparently, there's a running joke that Peter Venkman always insults New Jersey in every episode.
Oh yeah, there was an insult in there about New Jersey.
That sounds like the average New Yorker, so.
yeah, this is fair.
It's fine.
But it's always Venkman because he's a dick.
Right. So. Season 3. We have chosen our picks for season 3. 12 episodes. We've chosen 4 each. This is Judge. If you out there, if you have any special requests, if someone comes in and says, "Look, I really want you to do this one," we can make some changes.
Yeah, we did that for Jem. We did that.
We did do that for Jem. That's right.
You do that for Jace?
No, it was another one though.
Yeah, it was. I'll keep thinking about it. But yeah.
We probably won't be doing any more watch-along episodes because nobody seems to like those.
Well, they are emergency ones.
Yes.
For us. It's better putting something out than nothing at all.
All right, so let's rate Ghostbusters.
Yes.
I gave it a 75 for the theme because it's Ghostbusters. Yeah, so 75 because it is what it is.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with that. 75 sounds like a good one.
I was going to go with 75 as well.
So across the board, yeah. So
the thing is, how do you argue with it? It's Ghostbusters.
So I'm just going to give it a 75.
Okay. I think that's a good level.
I have heard that song far too many times in my life, though.
I think there's always room. I don't think I've ever deliberately sat down and listened to the whole thing.
That's because you are not a child of the 80s. Or you weren't a child in the 80s. It was everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, that got theme out of the way quite quickly. Weirdness.
Well.
Jennifer.
It's pretty weird.
Yeah.
But not so much from a Ghostbusters point of view. 65.
Okay. Jeremy?
I think I'm going to go pretty high too, and I'm going to ignore the fact that it's from a Ghostbusters point of view, because if you're a kid and you don't know who Ghostbusters is and you're watching this, you're going to be freaked the hell out. So I'm going to go 76.
Well, that was what I was going to say. Is for all those people that are saying, "Oh, is Ghostbusters alright for my 5-year-old?" Maybe the 5-year-old should watch the real Ghostbusters cartoons, get them in, and then by the time they finish, they're probably going to be about 8 or 9. And it also works well for, some kids that, Ghostbusters is pretty scary.
Yes, I remember being pretty scared of the dogs in the first one.
Yeah, there you've got the dogs and the librarian. So maybe for the younger ones,
Yeah.
it might be worth they watch this.
Well, I marked it significantly lower than you two and went with a 33 because, and it's all about the baseline. It is a show about grown adults who capture ghosts using proton accelerators. So its base level of weirdness is quite high anyway. But I gave it a 33 for some of the characters' design choices on the people, and then the ghosts. They were quite weird, and then the bad guy goes at the end, which was just I gave it 33 for the weird choices.
Bad guy.
Surely they should be higher than 33 seems quite low to me.
The bad guy ghost, when he was revealed his true form, which looked like a giant fish monster, that kind of reminded me of something from Trapdoor.
Yeah, I give that.
Well, at least when he was the smoke as well with the eye.
Well, so it got a 58 overall for weirdness. This is going to be an interesting one. Educational value. Because I learned nothing, apart from people don't like Jersey. So I gave it a 5. I gave it a 5.
I'm sure they pick some like teaching moment in there.
I learned that all the Ghostbusters were trying to bone Janine.
Yeah, that seems fair.
Maybe.
I thought this might be
maybe
different.
Slimer is the teaching moment.
Yeah. Well,
Slimer's naughty.
It's a bit of a stretch.
Acceptance.
Maybe Slimer's got a food issue.
He's got an eating disorder.
He's got an eating disorder. That's it. Can't stop eating.
So put a number on it.
35.
35. Jinkies. Jeremy?
24.
I didn't think it was good. This is a hard one to gauge because...
It is, but we had Grange Hill last week. That's kind of unfair.
21 for education.
What did you put?
5.
Oh.
First. So overall impact. It's your episode, Jeremy. So overall impact.
I mean, this show was pretty impactful. The movie was far more impactful.
Yeah, but we're doing the show, not the movie.
So the movie I'd put like definite solid, like nearly 90s. The show I'd put a bit lower. I'd say I like the show as well. I think I've seen the show before we did the episode. So I'm gonna go with the sex number, 69.
Well, I gave it a 25 because I didn't like it.
You watched this.
That wasn't what you're being engaged on. You're in how impactful it was.
Yeah, impact. I can take that as personal impact. I can take that as
yeah.
So, but I gave it a 25 because there are people from a certain generation, a large section of humanity, who will remember and enjoy this. I'm just not one of them.
You remember it?
Yeah, that's why it's got 25.
55. Mostly because I think because it was a vehicle for Slimer, and I remember it being quite popular. But it's also riding on the coattails of the film.
Without the film, I don't think this would have done anywhere near as well.
Ooh, I don't know.
No.
I don't know actually.
It really appeals to kids.
This would have been a lot of this would have been parents who enjoyed the movie and then kids, watch this.
Yeah, but it was only a few years later that it came out. So as kids, it would have been the same kids watching it.
I stand by that. I don't think it would have been as successful without the movie.
I think it would have been a cult classic of the late 80s. Definitely.
So what was saying is that I don't like this.
Which I am surprised.
Yeah. Grumpy old man.
Yes, I am. So that is a 50 overall for impact.
Yeah. Card's going to be an interesting one.
That's still quite a high. That's a decent one. 75, 58, 21, 50. Jeremy is busy. He's hard at work creating the new cards, back of the box cards.
They're gonna be amazing, spectacular, just like the ones already.
Yeah, and I think at the end of our season 3, when we've got another 12 cards, I think we've got enough there so we can print them off and play an actual game.
Yes, and we should film us doing it. Put it on YouTube.
Quality content. Quality.
We're so cool.
Content. I think we should stream that, and we should play the game and stream it.
Yes.
What is it? Not just top
No.
trumps?
La 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 la.
Can't say that name. We'll get sued.
It's got nothing to do with that. It's not even similar.
It's serial
It's
trumps.
back of the box cards.
Top viewing.
Serial Trump. I mean, top cereal. So yeah, join us next time for Postman Pat. Postman Pat.
Postman Pat.
Postman Pat. Pat is a big fat twat.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah, he is.
You can't say Postman Pat's not a nice guy.
Or is he?
Plot twist.
Although, even though I hate the new series and it's an abomination, you do get to see more of Pat at home in the new series. So you meet his wife and his kids, and
In the original.
you vaguely.
He always his son. His son's always there. He's a ginger one.
They're all ginger.
Yeah, he's really ginger.
Pat is a proper ginger.
One of the comedy sweary Postman Pat shorts is Pat having a go at his ginger son.
Yeah, I remember that. And you see his wife.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one. That one.
I think it's
We've all seen it.
I think it's going to compete with Fireman Sam between the much loved original and then the really weird, creepy, Uncanny Valley new version.
And the ratings of Fireman Sam is not the reason why we're doing another very popular British
Is it you?
kids show.
Are you the person that watches our Fireman Sam episodes? Listen to our Fireman Sam over and over and over again.
Please let us know.
Yeah.
Tell us what we can do to make it more like that one. We'll sell out.
Thank you, Jeremy, for hosting this episode.
Yes, you're welcome. It could have been better.
So if you're watching, please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell us what you think. If you have any,
Please.
if you have any suggestions, if you want to be on the show, you can leave us a voicemail on our website, and we will play you on the show. You can join us virtually on the show.
Like Pedro.
Yay. So thank you very much for listening. Oh, sorry, for watching. We've already thanked you for listening to the podcast, and we will catch you next time for Postman Pat. Say goodbye, people.
Bye, people.
Goodbye, YouTube.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.